There's a fish. But that's not a crappie. That's not what we're looking for, I don't think, right there, baby. It might be. Nope. Yep, it is. It is. That's a crappie. It's a big old crappie. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. You back there catching all them. Man, look at the size of that crappie. That is a dandy. Looky there.
Pretty good one.
Woo. Chris and I are on a mission out here today. And the mission is I have not had a good fish dinner, not a good crappie dinner in a while. And I'll tell you what, we are going to do that today. Honey, if you'll open that live well, I will put that monster in there. I mean, that is a dandy. Woo! Good start right there. I never felt that fish hit, Chris. You know, you usually get a good thump on the crappie. I never felt a thing. It's just like, it was just there all of a sudden.
Caught him quite by accident, huh? Was he down deep?
He wasn't too awful deep, really. He was relatively shallow. I hadn't let that bait go down very far at all. It's awful deep under the boat. It's almost 30 foot deep right here under the boat. 26 here. What is it back there on your
31.
How much?
31.
31. This is a steep, steep point. They could pull up on it and get pretty shallow pretty quick, really. There he is. Boy, he was down there pretty deep, baby. I don't know if it's a bass or a crappie. I believe it's a bass.
I don't think it's a crappie.
It's not a crappie, it's a bass. It's a bass. Oh, Kentucky bass.
Huh.
Yeah, Kentucky bass. Big Mr. Spotted Bass, how you doing, buddy? See that spot? That's a Kentucky bass. Got teeth down on its tongue. See that little patch of teeth right there on its tongue? Sit down and put your finger in there and feel it. You feel that rough patch? That's a spot. That's a Kentucky. Pretty little Kentucky, too. That critter was down there deep, I'm telling you. Now, I felt a pretty good solid thump on that one. I thought that was going to be a crappie until he started pulling the way he did, and then I thought, no Mr. Crappie there. No Mr. Crappie there. You got one?
I think this one might be a crappie.
Ooh, a big old crappie. Man, I can taste that one already. Yes, I can. Woo, looky there. How deep was that one, baby?
He wasn't really that deep.
Maybe we're fishing too deep. Maybe I need to get shallower. Of course, I've been throwing up pretty close to the bank.
Well, he was out, but he was not very deep.
Yeah, okay. Well, they should be coming shallower. They just
All
should
of a sudden,
be.
I can't reach where I was throwing.
Water temperatures. Well, I got my boat pointed right in the direction where you caught it, don't I?
I know. You're sitting up there.
Huh?
I said, but it's not at my end of the boat.
I'm holding the spot for you. What more can I do?
Yeah. Real pal.
I got this spot covered just in case there's more of them in here. I thought we'd get to catching some we'd tie up to a tree or something. I'm anxious for you to try out that new fillet knife I bought you. Did I buy you a new fillet knife for Christmas?
No, I think it was the other way around.
Huh?
In fact, I think you got 2 of them for Christmas.
I got 2 fillet knives?
Uh-huh.
One for me, one for you.
No.
Huh?
Come
on, babe. I know you know how to clean crappie. I've
fillet,
seen.
you cook then.
Got one in. I started to wind it in, he bit it. Probably gonna be a big bass. No, it's a big crappie. They must be out here pretty far, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
I started to wind that in. I got a bite out there and I didn't catch him. And I started to wind it in. Oh God, it's a big old fish. Man, that is some big, big fillets. You're gonna have some great fillets on you, baby. Ah! Boy, that is a big crappie. Look at the size of that crappie. Man, oh man. That fish was way out here away from the bank. Of course, this water temperature is still below 50 degrees for the most part. Oh, that's a big old crappie. Look at that crappie.
Golly.
Ooh, look at that crappie. Man, oh man. Man, oh man, that thing's got it down deep too. Look at that. Look, that bait's gone. That Roadrunner is gone. I mean, gone city. Look at that fish. Give my bait back, girl. Give my bait back. Ooh, man. We're gonna eat good tonight. Ooh, man, we are going to eat good tonight. Oh, I about dropped her. That is a big old fish. All right, baby doll. Here we go, one more. We're beginning to get some fish in there. One of the things that really makes a big difference with a spinning reel is to keep your line lubricated really, really good. And with Reel Magic, and you want the secret with Reel Magic is it's got a real high grade silicone base to us, and that's what you're putting on there is that silicone, which is just really, really slick, and it really helps your line. It gets down into your reel, makes your reel work better. It's just a really high quality product. There are some products out there on the market that are just pretty much pure water. If you look on the label, they're 98 or 99% water, and water will lubricate your reel. There's no doubt about it. Water is a lubricant, but it's a lubricant that lasts about 3 minutes, and that's all. As soon as the water dries, then there's another one. Those 2 fillets got away.
I think I'll join you in that.
Huh?
I said, I think I'll help you.
Oh, yeah, you help me catch them there. Those 2 fillets got away. Ah! And if we can get them going, you know, we can catch a whole box full of them. There's another one.
I must not be letting mine fall far enough.
I'm down there pretty deep. That's another big one.
I might have to put on a
Look
lighter
at the
color,
size of
too.
that thing,
Wow.
will you? Look at that crappie. Goodness sakes alive. Whoa, oh, man.
Break your rod.
Yeah, I'm going to break my nice rod there doing that. You really ought to get down there and thumb those fish like that. That is a big old crappie right there. That is a big old crappie.
I got one.
You got a fish?
Yeah. Small crappie.
Crappie?
Small. Little one, yeah.
Huh. It's all right, he'll eat. He won't eat much, will he? That's pretty small fillet right there,
Yeah,
baby.
he might get eaten in there in the live well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, one of them big ones might eat him. You're right. You're right. Was he up on the bank? I've been kind of fishing out here in the channel. I mean, we're going to have a mess of fish. What do you think?
I believe we will.
That's a big old crappie right there, too. He's not quite as big as some of them, but he's pretty doggone nice. Yes, he is. He's trying to get his best to get away, isn't he? One thing about crappie, you can do a lot of looking and not catch them. Just see there, I got him on the outside of the mouth.
He didn't mean to get that, did he?
You can do a lot of looking and not catch anything, but if you ever get in them, you can really hammer them. And we really haven't found a place where they've really been stacked in. Maybe this is the spot. I think about 2 or 3 or 4 maybe is the most we've caught in a spot. Boy, that didn't hit it quick.
You got another one?
I got another one. These are males. This is a small male crappie right here. This is kind of your size, honey.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm surprised
That's
he
just
hit
a
yours.
little male right there.
Easy to fillet?
They're easier to fillet, you're right. Those big ones, I'm telling you. Those big ones are pretty tough to fillet. That bait didn't fall very far either.
There's one. It's out here
Exact
pretty
same
close to
spot.
that stick.
Yeah, that's good. You can eat crappie too now. Thought for a while you're just going to have to eat potatoes. You can eat some crappie now. At least a little bit. At least a little bit.
The cook gets to eat
We're
everything.
beginning to get a little water crappie in that box, aren't we?
Well, you drifted right on top of my spot.
I'm sorry about that.
There's one.
Oh, by golly, it didn't take you long to catch another one, did it? He's right in the middle of that cedar tree, wasn't he?
Well, he was right in the middle of that clump of cedars.
Really? Really? Well, let me
Takes
see
you to
if
start complaining about my catching.
let me see if I can throw back here in that same spot. Man, that's boy, you're in a thick spot right there, aren't you?
Why did you get hung?
Well, I will if I leave it in there very long. There's not much of a hole there that you're fishing in. Pretty good place to get hung up, looks to me like, back there where you're fishing. How deep are those? They're not too deep, are they?
No.
There's one. Boy, they are hitting that bait now. You know, it might have been they just wasn't biting real good earlier in the day. They just might just start biting a lot better right now.
It's unusual,
Yeah, baby.
unusual for crappie to have an evening bite, though.
Huh?
I said that's unusual for crappie to have a better
Yeah, 'cause
evening bite
crappie
than a
don't
day
really,
bite.
well, it's not too late yet though. Once that sun goes down is when they quit. How that wind just won't let me stay off of the spots real good. Actually, this water we're fishing on this tree line is only about 13 feet deep, even though we're quite a ways away from the bank. It's kind of an old creek bank that goes along there, and the creek's actually on the other side. We're sort of up on the field part of it, and it drops off on the other side. But normally, you know,
Ooh,
like in
look
the
at the size of this one.
You get a big one? How big is it?
Pretty nice.
He's pretty nice, you're right. How many we got back there anyway, honey? I don't want to clean all night. I don't want to clean all night. We might get to a point here where we start throwing them back.
We probably have more than you want to clean already.
Do I? It's about time.
I was just being nice to you, honey.
Were you being nice? You're not being very nice right now. You're not being too nice to me right now. God, throw that one back. That's a big one. That is a giant. Man, that is a giant. I got about enough in there to clean anyway. How many you reckon in there?
I don't know, probably 10 or so.
10? That's enough, or you want to catch a few more?
There's another one.
Another one.
This is a big one here. Boy, he swallowed it.
I
can't even see the bait.
I shouldn't have been talking about needing some help. Now you caught about the last 10 in a row.
Oops. You don't have to clean that one.
That's good. That's good. I don't mind that at all. I'm glad you letting a few of them go. God, I'm such a great guy. I'll tell you what, I've been getting bite after bite after bite, and I've just been shaking them off, shaking them off, shaking them off, so she can catch a few. Because I was feeling bad when I was catching all of them. She wasn't catching any, so. Well, I suppose you have another one.
Have another one.
That's good.
But I let you fish the spot first, huh?
I know it. I fished all around those 3 trees. I mean, all around them. Never got a bite. Never got a bite. And there you throw in there and catch that big hog. Oh, yeah, might be a crappie.
Houston's Helpful Hints is brought to you by Turbo Power All Day Energy. Catch the energy.
Chris makes a comment that there is crappie fishing and then there's crappie catching. Well, crappie catching is obviously the time of the year when the crappie get on the bank spawning, and you just simply getting a wad of them, and you catch crappie, you know, you catch them just one right after another. Not only does that happen during the springtime, but it happens sometimes when you get them in a winter pattern, when you got them around a brush pile or maybe on boat docks. On Lake Tenkiller, we fish a lot of boat docks around boating, and we're just fishing in one boat stall all day long, and you're just catching. But crappie fishing is when you're really having to hunt for them. Much like bass fishing, you're having to constantly look, you're having to fish a lot of different depths, and you're actually fishing for the crappie, and you're not catching them bunched up. When you'll catch one here, one there, one here, one there. At the end of the day, you got a pretty good sized box of crappie. But let me tell you a couple things that you want to look for early in the year before the crappie go in to spawn. You got to find areas where they are going to actually end up spawning. If you're fishing a lake that you know that you caught spawning crappie there before, simply go out in front of those areas. If you find some pea gravel banks, some little pockets, some little coves, fish the points right in front of them. Fish the in between the points, in the open area in between the points where the fish are going to go in to spawn. Get on the edges of tree lines. Crappie are very much like bass in that time of the year. As a matter of fact, you catch bass in the exact same places you do catch crappie before they go in shallow and spawn. These fish are normally going to be in about the 8, 10, 12 foot range. Ironically, the very same depth range that you catch the fish, the bass, when they're getting ready to go in and stage to spawn. But find the edges of tree lines, the openings of pockets, the points where they're going to go in to spawn. Go to the areas where you know the fish are going to actually end up spawning. Simply move out in front of those areas in the 8 to 12 foot range. Another little quick tip, when you find the male crappie in right on the bank, the females will probably be right in front of them in about 8 or 10 foot of water. A little deeper, a little slower, big female crappie.
Well, it's late in the day and the sun's getting low. Caught me a big one, but I let him go. I sure had fun just watching him stretch my line. I made me a lifetime memory out here fishing Jimmy Houston and me. Hey, Jimmy, I think we'll have to go again sometime.
I don't know what a little goofier you were than Stingray. The Stingray's over there. So I never hooked a tourist that looked that goofy before.